All right, well, welcome everybody to the last PA meeting of the 2020-2021 school year. It's been a heck of a year. We've just about made it to the finish line. We've certainly had challenges, I think, that, most schools, didn't expect, but I think we came through it, better than expected, and our kids are doing well and will continue to do well. My kids, Cindy's son, are all graduating next week, so we're looking forward to that. And the upcoming, the rising sophomores, juniors, and seniors, to be back in the building in September is going to be a wonderful thing. And I think that it'll be powerful, and everybody will really be able to see the magic of tech. So, we'll say our goodbyes and our thank yous more towards the end, but truly, it's been an honor to do this with you guys. We've always tried to answer emails in a timely fashion and give parents advice and help and answer questions. So we hope that you found us helpful as well. And Cindy is in the building. Elvis is in the building. No, you're on mute, Elvis. Elvis, you're on mute. Okay.
I'm in the building, and I'm amazed to share that the staircases have been painted a very light, almost white color with bright blue trim. Can you see? It makes me cry. We haven't been here in 2 years. The staircases have never been this bright in all the years, 30 whatever. But anyway, it looks already welcoming for our kids to come back.
Yes, it is. As Hamilton said, it's the Cindy
Well,
camp.
excuse me, not my kids, not my kid, but all of your kids to come.
I saw the grades on Pupil Path. We made it. Okay, I know that we sort of coasted the last 2 months, and I just hope that every kid's got their homework assignments in, and because that ship has sailed.
I don't know when my daughter last did work.
I know. I don't know about anybody else, but for the last week, it's just been are you in school? And they're still laying in bed. So can't tell Miss Nottingham that, because she's gonna get mad. But
hi guys. Hi Lisa. Hi Debbie.
Oh, Vito, can you unmute Miss Nottingham?
Nothing is preventing her from unmuting.
Yeah, she's giving me the stink eye. I don't know, Kelly. What do you want to do? You can come here. We can all sit around.
No.
It's like a campfire.
I don't need to talk. I'm just saying.
No, stop.
All right, hold on. I can
You have to talk really loud from over there.
Let's see. It says ask to unmute. So you want me to ask to unmute? Okay.
Hello.
Oh, there's Lincoln.
Hi guys.
Lincoln had something to say.
Okay.
I'm leaving the meeting.
Okay.
It looks phenomenal. Makes me so
Okay,
happy.
sit down. Oh, shit.
You're leaving.
What did I do? Sorry. What did I do? Okay. Sorry about that.
And she cursed on a recording.
Well, it's the last PA meeting. You're going to fire
Yeah.
me.
What are they going to do?
can't
Kick
delete
you
What am
out?
I gonna do?
That can be
Now I
deleted.
can't come to graduation. Okay.
Okay, so what are you gonna say? Do we have an agenda for this evening?
Well, we
Besides
have
the questions?
questions. So we have questions for Mr. Newman.
Is he here?
He is here. We have the budget is put up in the chat, and
Debbie, you wanna take my seat and
You wanna
talk about the budget? Talk about the budget.
so we have the budget.
Talk about it. You're supposed to.
No, you are. You're the treasurer.
Well, what did he put up?
This,
That I
everything
can
looks.
see.
So Vito is gonna put
Everything
up-
looks fantastic. It looks beautiful,
Okay.
so welcoming, ready for our kids to come.
So as you guys can see, this is the proposed budget for the coming school year. And I'm gonna let Debbie speak to a couple of things that we did, and The one thing I'll talk about before I let you talk, because this is just so typically for freshman year, the PA gives out organizers. And we would do that for every freshman class. When the freshman comes in, they get a planner. And we feel that that puts them on the road to success at Brooklyn Tech, because they are now responsible for, knowing what they have to do and when things are due. Needless to say, the rising sophomores didn't get that opportunity. So then we thought, talking to Lincoln, talking to the e-board, well, we got to do it for the sophomores as well. And then we took it a step further and said, well, we have the money. We're going to do it for everybody. So the sophomores, the juniors, the seniors, and the freshmen coming in next year will all get Brooklyn Tech planners that'll have the Brooklyn Tech logo on it. It typically has the calendar of school days and things like that. And it really is a wonderful tool to keep the kids organized. And we felt it was only fair. So typically that budget line would run us about $6,000 a year. And believe it or not, to do the extra 3 grades brought the total up to about $16,000. So you can see that that line has increased. But we do, like we say, think that it is well worth it. And again, it's a tangible item, so parents can see that their kids are using it, and it's something that is definitely helpful. And my kids have used it the 4 years that they've been at Tech. But go ahead, Debbie, talk.
Okay, so the left is the current budget that we made for this year, and the right is the one proposed for next year. So if you look at the income, this year's budget, we cut by about 40% because we figured, okay, we're not going to get as many donations as we normally do. But of course we were wrong and we got a whole bunch of money. But basically what I did for most of the items on the budget is push them back up to pre-COVID levels. So they're not similar to the 2021 budget, or kind of similar to the 19/20 budget, but they're most like the 18-19 budget. Yeah, I have to count backwards, it's bad. So the income that we're expecting, I put it back to what it was 2 years ago. So we expect to make a little over, what does that say, 267?
Yep.
And for most of the expenses, again, I put them back to what they were pre-COVID, because there's a lot of things this year that we just did not use at all. Most of like the PA activities, the meet and greets, the parent workshops, we used to spend a lot of money on those, but since they're virtual, they didn't cost anything. So all of those lines I put back to where they were. Faculty grants, we earmarked 75,000, but that number is subject to change. But the grant meeting is probably not going to happen until the summer. So that number might go up or down depending on what happens at that meeting. But basically that's it. Most of it, like I said, it's going back to pre-COVID numbers. So
that's the budget for people to take a look at. Okay, we do need to vote on the budget. So if everybody wants to take a minute to take a look, and if they have any questions, you can put it in the chat. And if there are no questions in the chat, then
Cindy's gonna go do another Cindy cam. If you want to pay attention, I'm gonna show you.
you can't go to the bathroom.
No, I'm gonna show you the new water fountains. Totally cool. I just got water.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
All right, so let's vote on the budget.
I don't know if Vito wants to scroll up so they can see the bottom of it a little. Okay, thank you.
So we're gonna say, I mean, people have their cameras off, but I have mine on. So all in favor, you can put up the little hand or your real hand. And if there's anybody opposed. Let me see here in the chat, do we have any questions? Does the budget align with the school budget?
It's
In
not
favor. Okay.
related.
Yes, thank you.
I got you one.
Oh,
Oh,
thank
thank
you.
So Mr. Newman's budget is Mr. Newman's budget. What supports? Okay, thank you. We all.
Mean supports.
What do you mean by supports? We have, we've supported Mr. Newman in his budget when he asks us for money to pay for tutors. We have counseling that's available. We have made available monies for, do these still, the guidance, do we still?
No, I mean,
Yeah, so as far as the services that are, okay, well, I think everybody's in favor, so.
again, this is not set in stone. If there are major changes that have to be made, the board next year can propose changes to the budget and have another vote, and the numbers can change. Also, it's not like, I mean, you can be under those numbers or over those numbers. This is just kind of a guidance for us. It doesn't mean you can't be, you know, 1 penny over and we'll get in trouble or something, because it's basically the PA's money. So
Hold on, she's trying.
what is she?
Okay, so if we can take the budget down and put the screen back up. Cindy thought she would share her, I don't know where,
Her water fountain.
I don't know where she is on the,
She went to the bathroom.
no, I know, but
Oh,
she,
so then she can't show the
but she,
bathroom.
no, but she was gonna show the water fountain, but I don't see her on here. So,
Went to the bathroom.
no, she didn't go to the bathroom, she went to the water fountain.
Again?
Okay,
She's screaming down the hall. Are all of these raised hands that this meant that they were in favor? Because
yeah, so we're all good.
Okay, great.
I see her at the water fountain.
Yeah, but I don't know why
I think
she's
there's
not
no
on the
questions.
screen.
Unmute her, please, she said.
She says can we unmute Cindy? Vito, let's see. Okay, she's unmuted, but I don't know where she is. Is Mr. Newman on?
Okay, everybody, just look at Cindy's phone. Cindy, yeah, she's unmuted now. Please bear with us. It's her last time in the building. Her last child is.
Okay, but wait, I
She's
wanna
having
say something
issues.
else.
She's having.
I
a
want to
moment,
say
folks.
something else. We do support students with Albert.io, Turnitin, all that kind of stuff. We discuss it at every meeting, every monthly budget that we show. So every meeting, every time we go over the budget, every time we go over the spending, we talk about what we do to support students. Anyway, yes, I'm in the building. I showed you those beautiful water fountains that look like the ones in the college dorms. Okay, that's all I had to share.
Okay, well, hi, Mr. Newman.
Hey, how are you?
We're good,
Hello, everyone.
thanks. So I will tell you, my kids were in the building today to drop off their laptops and pick up their caps and gowns and yearbooks. And they were so excited to be back, and it's kind of a little sad, but you know, everybody's moving on. We do have questions for Mr. Newman, so I thought we would start with them. There's only about 12, and then we'll see what else shows up in the chat. Parents are asking about when we return textbooks back to the school. Obviously, the current freshmen didn't get any textbooks, and I know, did some seniors return textbooks today?
Yeah, the seniors, a lot of seniors returned textbooks today. I actually got a lot of 2020 senior textbooks back as well, as they've been coming into actually, very late in the game, but picking up their diplomas from last year. And so they've been returning textbooks. But yeah, a lot of textbooks were gotten today. Students were all asked to bring in textbooks, laptops, as your children have done. So yeah, we got a lot of books back. And
then they can return them again in the fall if they're not.
yeah, the underclassmen, we're just going to get it back in the fall. And so everybody, the assumption is now that 6,000 kids are going to be coming back on the first day. So I'll get all the books back then.
I have a question about diplomas, selfishly. So graduation is the 23rd. And when do they come to the building to pick up their diplomas?
I'm not sure the answer to that.
I think it's the 25th, isn't it, Mr. Newman?
The 25th is, I'm actually gonna send out tonight. Don't get me started on this, but the 25th is actually gonna be a day of instruction and the building is gonna be open and there are gonna be classes. And so,
You got to explain that because I'm puzzled.
I'm puzzled as well. The DOE set a policy that it was a day of instruction. And so, so we are surely abiding by that for seniors, for everybody. It's going to be, I mean, there's the day of instruction on the 24th also, and there's going to be a similar schedule on the 25th. The DOE is counting every minute apparently, all of a sudden. So, so yeah, so I'm going to send out the schedule for that tonight, likely, or the very latest tomorrow morning. The teachers already know that schedule. So anyway, what we talking about? Oh, so I don't know. I got to talk to, I wish I had that answer. I'll text her and see if I have that answer. I don't know if Ms. Nottingham knows the answer to that, but I will ask Ms. Cuesta and hopefully she'll text me back before the end. But I don't know.
All right, good. 'Cause, I asked selfishly because one of my kids is leaving for the Naval Academy the Wednesday after graduation. So, and I know it's got to be an in-person pickup. So I want the diploma. I've earned the diploma. I've put the two of them through tech.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I understand that. I mean, I wish I could have given out the diploma today, but they didn't graduate yet. So it would have worked out, if, you know, but didn't graduate yet.
All right. So next question is, are sports going to resume in the fall?
As far as I know, yes, full-fledged, back to normal. That's from what I understand. But I will be cautionary when I say that the PSAL has not released a policy. But I mean, honestly, I can't see if we're back in 6,000 kids every single day, how they'd modify PSAL at all. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay, that's good. All right, so other than the seniors who came here today to pick up caps and gowns, and of course, showing up for school the last 2 days, according to the DOE,
Yeah.
are there any sort of exit surveys, things that they need to do?
I'm actually going to send out, I mean, not need to do, but I'm actually going to send out a student survey to get feedback on the year and help us, you know, plan a little bit for next year. So I'm going to ask them to do me a favor and give me like an exit survey and give me some feedback on how things were, not just for seniors, for all students. So, so yeah, they don't have to do it, but yeah, that's going to be coming their way as well.
Okay, so the seniors then returned their laptops that they were given. Are there dates for the freshmen, sophomore, and juniors to return the equipment, or?
I think we're going to do that in the fall. Don't quote me on that. I need to ask Ms. Sullivan. Maybe she wants particularly just equipment back. I have honestly had some students that reached out that had some equipment and were sort of like, hey, can we use this for the summer? You know, it would be really helpful. It's my only device. So I don't need them for the summer. I'm not doing anything with them for the summer, to be honest with you. And as long as I get them back in the fall, I'm okay with that. And also, you know, our summer school's at Stuyvesant, so I'm not bringing any devices over there anyway. So, for practical purposes, I don't need them right now. I do need them back in September. So I think we're looking at getting everything in September, and hopefully the time in between won't render me a higher percentage of devices not coming back.
Okay, I do want to ask a question. You said Stuyvesant was going to be where summer school is.
Yeah.
If parents somebody had asked in the chat, you know, their child has failed several classes according to Pupil Path. When do the kids get notified that they have to go to summer school? How does that kind of work?
Okay, I'm going to say a couple of things, right? For courses this year, obviously, that's what we're talking about. And first of all, NXs from the fall, which were supposed to sunset on June 25th, have been extended. So the DOE has given us until the end of summer school, August 15th around, to remedy the NXs from the fall, combined with now NXs from the spring. I'm going to say this. There's still time to turn this thing around, right? There's still time right now to make up some work and get credit for a course, just whether it be for the fall or for the spring. You can buckle down and make up some missing work and enough for you to pass, if you could do that, that is still possible, right, to the bitter end. I will say also, there's going to be a sort of a two-tiered summer school. A tier is not the right word, but there's going to be summer school, traditional summer school, every single day, students coming and being in a class, and the difference is they need the seat time. They have to sit for 45 hours as per regulations to get credit. And that's not the only thing they need to do to get credit. Obviously, they have to pass the class in other regards, but they have to be there. They have to, accrue time. That is for kids who got NCs, no credit from last year's spring, 2020, or failed courses 55 or below from before that, right? That's what summer school is, just for seniors. So the other kids, we're gonna either schedule them. I'm talking about classes once again that they got NCs for last year in the spring, or so obviously this wouldn't affect freshmen, or 55s or lower before that. Those kids will be rescheduled. They'll be with us in the fall. We'll either reschedule them for classes or they'll make it up in summer school in the following year. And so, so we are running a complicated but vast NX Academy. So if you don't cross the finish line, you don't make up the work and you still have an NX from the fall 2020 or the spring 2021 right now, we're going to run weekly NX Academies. The bottom line is this: you do work. There's no classes. There's no seat time. You're given work. You do the work. The teacher grades it. It takes about a week, and then you're done, and you get credit for a course, right? So we're running 6 week-long NX Academies. So that is going to be the duration of summer school. Those kids will likely not come to the building. They do not need seat time. They're going to come to a Zoom on the first day. Teacher's going to explain all the assignments that they have to do for the week. Then they're going to go off the grid and they're going to do the assignments. And then there's going to be office hours every day. If they have questions for the teacher, they do the work, they get the credit, no grades. Grades, but no grade on the transcript. They only get a CR, but the NX is gone. So we are going to run so you might be assigned for your particular course week 3 of the NX Academy or week 2, or so you'll be given a week. And so if you have multiple NXs, you could probably do 2 at one time, but you could do technically up to 12, 1 week at a time, 2 courses at a time, and keep on moving. It's going to be a lot of work. I will say that there's work now that could be made up. There is still time. I want to say that again. There is still time to make up work now. You can hunker down and you can literally do all your makeup work. I mean, I don't know how much it is, but I can imagine over a weekend, if you put your nose to the ground, you could literally probably just this weekend get enough work done on maybe 2 courses to get credit. And then you avoid all the other stuff. But anyway.
So summer school at Stuyvesant is only going to be for seniors?
Summer school is only going to be for seniors sitting in a traditional classroom every single day.
So sitting in a traditional classroom is only seniors, and everything else for current freshmen, sophomore, and juniors is the online academy.
Academy, yes.
Okay.
Yep, and seniors might be in the NX Academy also, because if they have failure grades, NX grades from this year, they're going to be in the academy. So you see what I'm saying? So the only seniors that are going to be in summer school are people spring 2020 or before who failed the course or got an NX.
Okay, and a kid who has an IEP who would require in person, is that something they should take up directly with your office?
If a kid has an IEP that you're saying it mandates that the kid learn in person, that they can't learn asynchronous?
Yes, that's what a parent asked.
I have to talk to that parent individually. There's screaming going on over there. I'd have to talk to that parent. Should contact me individually. There's going to be a rare case, and we'll work something out to accommodate that individual kid. I think this is probably just going to be appropriate for one or a couple of kids. So contact me and we'll work something out.
Excellent. Moving on, I have more questions.
I'm putting my email in the chat, by the way.
Okay, great. When is the deadline to add or drop classes for next year?
The end of the year.
What?
So the deadline to add, there are no ads.
Okay.
You already told us what you want. We're giving you what we want. If you didn't get in, you didn't get in. We could talk about that. But if you want to drop a course, you found out you got into 4 APs, you only won 3, you want to drop a course. You only have until the 25th. We're not dropping courses in the beginning of the year. I want to say that again. We're not dropping courses in the beginning of the year. It's set. If you want to change your mind, you want to drop a course, has to happen by the end of the year, this year. You've already known for weeks what courses you have.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. So we talked about the kids who are returned, the seniors who are returning their laptops to the school, but what happens if your kid was given an iPad and they borrowed it from the DOE? How do they
Same
get
thing.
that back to the DOE?
I think the DOE is letting us keep them. And so it's going to be the same thing. They're going to end up being returned to us. And I think we're going to get, I mean, that's not up to you. It doesn't matter to you whether we take them. The DOE is not taking them. So either we take them and the DOE is going to ask me for them back, or the DOE will tell me to keep them. But either way, I'm collecting them.
Okay, so a senior could have brought it today. If not, a senior could make arrangements, and then the juniors, sophomores,
Yep.
freshmen can bring it back next year.
Yeah, many seniors did bring it back today, but yeah, if you sort of disappear and don't bring it back, I'm going to definitely send some harassing emails.
Oh, go ahead. Cindy has a
I
question.
have a question.
Go for it.
She gets one question.
That's it. That'll be a good one.
So if all the kids have to be in school next week on Friday, does that mean everybody goes to school next Friday? So our kids who are graduating might have one normal sort of day in the
Are
building?
you
before
crazy,
they leave?
Cindy? No, it's just the kids who are in hybrid.
Oh,
No, you can't all of a sudden opt in for the last day just to come in. That's-
okay, but I'm
that's
saying
chaos.
if you're hybrid, do you come in, or does it have
If
to be?
it's your
an
day,
A or
it's gonna
B?
be, I forgot, I think it's a B odd day. Don't quote me on that.
Wait,
And-
Mr. Newman, are you talking about the 25th?
I am.
I was gonna actually ask this too, Cindy, but I was gonna ask it in private. Because if it's an A day or B day and you're a senior, when do you get your diploma if you're the opposite day?
All good questions. So that's why I was asking before. I was asking one, if you knew when we were gonna get diplomas. So you think that they're being given out on the last day?
Yes, that's what I've been telling everyone because that's what I thought was the decision. We were giving it out on the 25th to like what's that called? A grab and go,
Catch and release.
catch and release, a catch and release. I
Fishing.
think that's you're laughing at me. I think that's what Sullivan called it, a catch and release on the last day of school for diplomas. Hold on one second.
Yeah. All
Sorry,
right. You've obviously
my
never been
students are
fishing.
interrupting my
I
class.
need to take you fishing. Sorry, but yeah, so yeah. Yeah, I wasn't sure about what day it was. That's why I was texting some people trying to find out.
Yeah.
So yeah, let me figure that out. I guess I should maybe not send an email tonight. I'll send it in the morning and let me figure out what we're going to do. Normally we do what's called catch and release. Kids come in for an hour. We just have prefect. We give them their report cards. Seniors get their diplomas and everything works out, right? But the DOE didn't do that. The DOE is like, you have to have classes, full day of instruction, and they're watching and no, wiggle room. And so I don't know what we're gonna do. We're trying to figure it out. But maybe we'll have a special schedule. We'll put, even if just thinking aloud, if I have a prefect where I'm giving this stuff out, no one has prefects this year. Like, I don't think so. I don't know. We have to figure this all out. All right, I'll email you. I'll try to email you tomorrow when I meet with the team and we figure out what we're gonna do.
Mr. Newman put the emails in the chat. Okay, so do we need to book the October SAT for rising juniors, or is that automatic from Brooklyn Tech College office?
Wait, say that again?
So parents are asking about the SAT for next year. So are you going to give the October SAT here in school? Is that the plan?
We don't ever give the October SAT. Oh, you mean on the weekend?
No, the one during the.
What's the
school
one during
day.
the school day? Isn't it in October?
PSAT in October,
PSAT.
SAT in March.
Okay,
And
so the-
parents, nobody has to sign up for it. It's just automatic, both of them.
True, that is the plan. That's how it traditionally be. Obviously, I have no information on that yet, but normally we give free PSAT in October, and then SAT in March.
excellent. And so the kids have not gotten their schedules for next year yet, right? They sort of know the classes, but they don't know you've got gym second period and third.
You're not going to
period,
get
you have
that till the first day back.
Okay.
We do have a prefect. You start the year normally with a prefect where you're handed your schedule, and then it's like, hey, welcome to tech, go on your schedule. I don't think it's going to be like that next year, but at some point on the first day, they will get their schedule.
Yes, we talked about the planners.
Okay.
And I already know the answer to this. A parent had asked, can students choose when they want to start first period, second period, third period? The answer to that, no.
That's
No,
not-
never, ever,
That's
never,
not-
no.
We're gonna, now look, I will
From
say
three
this.
kids who have asked that question, no and not.
I will say
and never.
this, right? So I have made accommodations for people who have real travel hardships, right? I'm talking real travel hardships, not like I don't want to get up in the morning, not any of that, right? Like I live in Staten Island, and I don't know, I'd like an early schedule because I'd like to make sure I get home before it's dark. Or I live in Staten Island, I'd like a late schedule because I'd like to get to school on time. Like those, particularly Staten Island, I've made some accommodations, but I'd like to know them earlier than later. So then I'm fixing that over the summer and not when, it all hits the fan and everybody's trying to like move things left and right. So if you have a real travel hardship and you want a later script, I'm talking about just a travel hardship, right? And so I'm not talking about I have a job after school and I want an early schedule so I can get out and go to work. I'm not talking about like I have these responsibilities, I'm just talking about travel hardship. We could work something out, but it's much better to know in advance because then we do as we do your schedule, we take this in consideration. Once we do your schedule, like to blow it up and redo it is not the easiest thing in the world. And so, and might not actually happen.
Okay. And
So yeah.
sorry, going back, 'cause when we talked about, maybe kids can knock out a couple of NXs before the last day. When is the last day? I mean, is it the 25th? If you have a kid who has a couple of NXs, can they on the 25th say? When can we get changed to?
I mean, look, the last day is the 25th. I mean, let's be practical about it. You hand a teacher work on the 25th and their summer begins at like 2:45 on Friday, the 25th, and you give them work at 2:00. Like that's not happening. What's going to happen is, what is going to happen is that teacher likely in the fall will come back, grade that work, and then you might get the credit, right? If you've done all the work, but they're not going to look at it if you give it to them in the last day. And then so that's a little dicey. Like then you're hoping it's good enough, and then you're missing out on the NX Academy over the summer, hoping that you're going to get credit. Like
Right,
just
okay, so don't wait until the 25th.
definitely don't wait until the 25th, right?
Okay.
Definitely don't wait until the 25th.
And if somebody wants to request a travel hardship, should they email you? Should they email?
They can email me, but once again, I want to talk about these are rare. These are rare, and so these are rare travel hardships, and it's we'll see what we could do.
Okay. Is the vaccine going to be mandatory for school next year?
No, so the vaccine, just a real quick, just to get a little medical on you, the vaccine is under emergency approval, not full approval. No one can mandate a vaccine that is under emergency approval. And so that is against FDA regulations and all sorts of other regulations. That being said, one particular vaccine is applied for full approval, that being Pfizer. And I think that's actually the one most kids have been getting anyway, right? Because they're only cleared for certain ages. So they're asking for full approval. That process takes at least 4 months from what I understand, from what I've been told. And so if it's not good for the beginning of the year, they're not gonna all of a sudden mandate in October. I mean, school started, right? Is it gonna be mandated the following year? Don't know, but then it could be. And then it would join the list of mandatory vaccinations. You know, we do have mandatory vaccinations for other things. You
Right.
cannot come to school unless you have like rubella, mumps. I cannot work in the school unless I have that as well, right? So, so if they add it to the list, they add it to the list. So,
Right. Out of our hands.
yep.
Gosh, what was I just gonna say? I saw the question and then it went past me on the, oh, so the seniors and transcripts. So I know that we got emails and it said if you need a transcript, you have to, is there a deadline for that, or is that deadline passed, or?
What do you mean?
So
To get-
some seniors needed transcripts to be provided to their colleges.
We take care. Yeah, that we're on that. I mean, we do this dance every year. No one should stress out. You're getting into college, your transcripts are going to go in a timely way. We know the rolling dates of colleges, and so the colleges that demand the transcripts first, we know what colleges they are. So we're not doing like alphabetically or whatever. We're doing it based on the college you're going to and sorted that way. And then we send them out. No one ever, gets in an issue. You might get nervous about it, but your transcripts will get there in time. The college will be happy and they're not going to kick you out.
Okay. Music and drama and the plays and getting into music classes and band and things like that.
Yeah, so kids don't know that they're in music or not?
Yeah, they're asking when will they hear about the music class?
I'd have to ask that question. So I don't know the answer to that question. So I'll probably get the answer to that before this meeting's over.
Okay.
Okay, I'll just text them. Yeah, but you definitely should find out before the year's over.
It'd be good.
Hooray, we're getting back to normal. There's music again and musicals.
And drama. Now, Mr. Newman, we had set aside the PA money for an architect.
For one
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
1 and
Can we
3.
give our
Yeah.
parents who donated an update?
Yeah. So the architect has already come to the building. They came.
Oh, wow.
We did a walkthrough. AP Eddie, the architects, and myself, and they're coming up with a scope of work and a plan. I don't know if, and hopefully this is okay. Like, I don't know if I'm going to get you a bill by next Friday, but I'll definitely get you a bill over the summer. Is that okay?
That's okay.
Yeah.
We just
Okay.
wanted an update so that. we
Yeah,
know
yeah.
what's
They've
the
already done a
goal.
walkthrough. We've done a preliminary walkthrough, and we sort of brainstormed some ideas, and they're going to come up with like sort of a preliminary proposal, come again, and then do a real like rendering. But it's moving along.
Now,
So
for
just
parents
to-
who
yeah.
don't, I was gonna say, for parents who don't know what that space is, it was a space in the lower level of the building that the DOE had taken for their own.
No, not that one.
Oh, no, you're
No, that's
confusing.
What are we
different.
talking about?
We're talking about 1 and 3, which required the architect.
Oh, yes.
1
Okay,
and
I'm
3
sorry.
required an architect. It's a redo room for computer science, AP computer science that all sophomores take, and also computer science major. And do you think maybe, Mr. Newman, by September, that room will be ready for kids coming back?
The room has to be ready. If it's not ready, it's still going to be ready. There are going to be kids in there. I can't take
Okay.
that room offline. So if it's half ready, then the work will have to continue at night or whatever. But I told them that no matter what, on September 1, well, I guess it's September 9th, kids have to be able to be in that room, even if the work is not ready. So they understand that.
Sorry, just to get on what Lisa was talking about, because we talk about some things in SLT and something, and then we don't realize, just to tell everybody, all our entire families. So the thing Lisa was talking about was there used to be a DOE office of student enrollment in the basement. Mr. Newman was able to say, hey, we have a lot of kids. Can we have that room back? And they gave it back to him as another space that kids could hang out in, or study or meet in after school groups. So the last we heard in SLT, Mr. Newman said, we had new furniture ready and ordered for that room, but unfortunately the DOE hasn't removed the furniture from the people
that's
who were there
right.
before. Do we have an update for that? And
Yeah,
that should
so,
be ready by September, probably?
so everything that we ordered for that room is in. It's actually in the room, sitting there in boxes. So we're good to go in that regard. So let me dial this back and explain what we're talking about. So there were the DOE has what they're calling now family welcome centers, what used to be called student enrollment centers. And the one for Brooklyn North was housed in our building forever. I mean, it's been there for, not forever, for like 15 or 16 years. I was able to sort of convince them to move it. And so anyway, to make a long story short, I'm turning it into, I had this like dream one day that we would have this like a college student union. And so it will be the Brooklyn Tech Student Union. On one side, kids will have like computers and be able to do work. On the other side, kids will hang out. There will be like foosball tables and ping pong and hockey. There is a knock hockey. No, there's an air hockey, a big air hockey machine. And then there's a pool table, and there's all sorts of places to just exist. And so I don't know. I mean, I've thought over the years it's something that we absolutely need first and foremost. And as Lisa and Cindy were sort of introducing it as like a place to just go to hang out. Like, we don't have any places to hang out. Kids hang out in the hallway. Like, kids hang out obviously in the lunchroom, but they can only hang out in there if they have lunch there. It's just, and so they can't go in there in the off period. There's nowhere to like be. Kids could hang out in the auditorium and like be, or in the library, but that's not hanging out. That's like
And it's
sitting
not
there
enough
quietly and
space
doing work.
either. Kids get
Yeah.
blocked out of those spaces because
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
no
But
room.
that's just
This
about
is a
like,
wonderful thing.
right.
This is a
So
wonderful thing.
anyway, we got all the stuff in. The desks from the former office, there's like, it's a big space and there's like 20 desks that flank each wall. The desk is still there. I did get a note from a deputy chancellor. And she's the deputy chancellor of space planning and other things, that we are good to go, that they are in the next 2 weeks. They
Wow.
are actually going to rent a truck, and the DOE is paying for it, and they're picking up all the stuff. I don't know where it's going, but they do, and I don't really care. And
As long as
then,
it's out of the building.
and I have a feeling that yours truly is going to get really excited, and over the summer, and no one's going to be around, and no one's allowed to be in the building. I have a feeling that I'm going to be sneaking into the building while everybody's at Stuyvesant and setting that room up myself. And so, but that's fine. And so yeah, but that room will be online in September. We will have a little ribbon cutting. There will be a nice plaque out front saying it's a student union.
I
That's
think the
happening.
name is amazing. That's perfect. And I'm
Yeah.
sad for my kids, but happy for everyone else's.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, students will be going back to an 8-period schedule in the fall, right?
Well, it depends on your schedule. I mean, yeah, maybe a 9-period schedule, maybe a 10.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna be the double.
Yes,
yeah.
yes, we're going back to like a full day. Yeah, classes every day. Yep.
And we're assuming then, if we're assuming sports, the pool being open as well.
But yep.
Okay.
Pool absolutely being open. I mean, the pool's open now. I mean, adults use it, but but it should be open. People, I know there's a lot of questions coming. Lunch, absolutely.
And when we're talking about advisory, so are we gonna do, because remember we had talked about making advisory still available for the rising freshmen will be sophomores. And
Yeah, that's a done deal. Like, I will tell you that, put money aside to make sure that happens. It's no like small price tag to add on a class for an entire sophomore class. The only thing, we're trying to figure out the nitty gritty of the sophomores, whether they'll have it for half a year or a full year. I will say this, I reached out and I told teachers, like, I wanted to do this in expanded advisory, but I need a lot of, like, a whole lot of teachers to volunteer to teach it. I wasn't going to surely force them to teach it. And I will tell you, in 24 hours, I got all the people I needed. And so
Well, that's
people were
wonderful.
coming out, and I gave a pretty good pitch, and I got my people. And that's all I really needed. The money was set aside. That wasn't the issue. I needed the people to be willing to do it. and I got my people. So it's really great. It's really, really great. So that is the go. But once again, we're trying to figure out whether we're going to have sophomores might only have it for one semester. We're trying to figure that out, how it best lays out in their day.
Okay.
Yep.
Lunchroom and everything is open. A question about graduation, Ms. Nottingham, somebody asked about an Emerald plan and tickets, but tickets we're not giving out today because that is
Email?
an email, an electronic.
Yes. The good news is that everybody gets 4 tickets, and those are going to be emailed directly to the graduate.
Okay, email to the graduate. Okay.
Yes,
so-
email directly to the graduate.
So I got news on the music. So here's the thing. The reason Mr. Trumpet has not sent out the list is because we're still awaiting how many kids could take music and restrictions around social distancing on music, right, in particular. So we don't know how many kids we're going to take until we get guidance on that. He said he will be letting everybody know something before the year is over. And he said kids who are currently in music are good. They're definitely going to be in music. So
Great.
those will be continuing.
Okay, great. All right, and then nothing yet from Ms. Cuesta about the diplomas.
I have not gotten an answer from her yet, but I think, you know, it sounds like Miss Nottingham had some information there. So about the last day.
Okay.
I think we just have to figure out the logistics on that.
Okay. From Cindy's and my point, we just wanted to take a minute and certainly thank Mr. Newman for coming to all these meetings and being constantly peppered with questions week after week and answering them over and over again. And, you know, we can't thank you enough for you know, being here for us and answering our questions and hold on. And then and you made me lose my train of thought.
Sorry.
Anyway, I just wanted to thank you very much for everything that you've done and for the PA and, like I said, answering our questions. And you know, I think the
Trying to make lemonade out
out of lemons. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
She's the wordsmith. I just sit here and go, totally agree with you.
And then we have to thank Ms. Nottingham, who, you know, words can't describe, because again, another person who lives and breathes for our kids and doesn't let a moment pass that she does, you know, doesn't always have the best interest of all our kids at heart. And so tech wouldn't be tech without you, without all the people in this building, without the office that runs here like a well-oiled machine, from getting, you know, working papers, and Miss Ivy giving out Metro cards, you know, people, you know, I've been on Facebook a lot with a lot of parents who have incoming freshmen or are thinking about incoming freshmen and say, well, I'm worried about the school being so big. And I give them I tell them to private message me, and I call them and I tell them that, yes, it's a big school, but the heart of this school is tremendous. And for as big as this building is, it's a wonderful community, and it's a wonderful community because of the people that are in this building and staffing this building. And my kids wouldn't be where they are. And in fact, my one son did say to me, because I had said to him over and over again, you know, he goes, oh, I could have went to a different high school and I could have been valedictorian. And now he says to me, I'm so glad I went to tech. And you know, somebody asked about where kids are going to college, and senior parents can post in the chat where their kids are going. There's a ton of kids going to Ivy Leagues. There are a ton of kids going to SUNYs and CUNYs and private schools and public schools and getting all sorts of scholarships. My one son got an ROTC scholarship and is going to Auburn to do engineering. And my other son is going to the Naval Academy. None of this would have been possible without Brooklyn Tech. And truly, Cindy and I work hard every week trying to get Tech Talk out. We have the exec board that goes above and beyond and really to get the information that we try to get to parents. So we really hope that you felt we did a good enough job. I think we tried to make a difference. It's been an absolute pleasure of mine to do this for you guys, and I really thank you guys. I don't know what else to say.
9 years coming to a close for me. I ditto everything Lisa said. I can't think about it.
Cindy was an alum.
Yeah,
and
I'm an alum.
three sons, all through Tech. And again, being in this building.
You feel the energy, and we hope the energy of the kids and their drive and the administration's want to meet their drive. And we hope that even those of you parents who have not spent any time in the building, and those of you who have not spent enough time in this building, come in here and feel it and see it for yourself and know what your kid is getting that they don't even realize they're getting until they leave here. There's a vibe in here. There's a buzz. Even the building's empty. There were 2 students here. There's a buzz. Mr. Kalin was here setting up graduation. Miss Marilyn is in here doing daily announcements. There's a buzz. It's alive, and it's all for our kids, and our kids add to the energy. You can feel it when you come in the building. So I wish that for all of you in the years that your child has left in this building, come in and feel it for yourself. It's something like nothing you've ever experienced before. And teachers have always been here for our students. Admin has always been here for our students, no matter how big we are. So that's my wish for you. Lisa did the thank yous. And that's all, folks.
We're not tap dancing, so, but really, we thank you all. We appreciate everything.
And we appreciate your attendance on Zoom
Yeah, I
all
mean-
these months. And Vito's gonna try to keep it going so that we live stream and do in person next year. So there's a chance for everyone to be involved. But like I said, make time to come into this building when you have opportunity. No, you can't just show up and pretend you're a student, but when you can, you'll know what I'm talking about.
And please volunteer next year. There are, there's plenty of things for people to do. And really, it'll be magical next year. The energy that the kids will bring, and if parents have even a small amount of time to get involved, it really has been a blessing.
Okay.
And thank you for all the nice comments that I see scrolling by here. So,
So reflecting on some of the comments and I guess my own comment, I'd really like to thank the PA Executive Board for all the work they've done this year. It hasn't been easier because we haven't been coming in the building, as an executive board, and there's been a lot of work still going on behind the scenes. And there's been a lot of work, I imagine, for the executive board. It was a harder year, as for many of us, than a normal year. But especially, I'd like to give a special thanks to Lisa and Cindy. I mean, I don't know what it's going to be like, without you two around, and what you're advocating for the school, advocating for students, and just the conversations we've had and the work that we've done together, I surely appreciate. And a lot of the things that we've talked about are things, that we're doing, are things that were from its genesis, were just talked about with Lisa and Cindy, and we kicked around some ideas, and then through SLT or other meetings, and then we made it happen, and so we made it happen together. And a lot, and some of those things were with the insight of Lisa and Cindy, and some of those things were honestly with the money from the PA. And so we've used, both people's time and labor, and in a great way to make things happen for the school. And then, of course, the money that has come in through the PA to help do various things in the school. So I can't thank both of you enough for your dedication. You're always there. Emails, you email me back like a millisecond later, like the second I hit return. I hope you feel like I did the same. And the communication was great. And ultimately the work was great on behalf of the school and our students. So I really, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you both for your dedication. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
And no one will be as funny as Lisa, I'm sure, going forward. Any closing words, Miss Nottingham? She can't say any words.
Are we still recording? Oh. I'm like surrounded by like legacy parents. I have Henry here talking his whole head off because I'm in a meeting and he doesn't care. And I have Debbie here who's just enjoying the conversation too. And you know, Cindy, I've known you. You were the first little redheaded woman scowling at me from the auditorium seats when I got on the stage in September of 2013. And you were judging me the whole time. I see your eyes now. And it's been a wild ride, and it's crazy how much of a family you become. I met Henry the very next year, and I graduated both of his children. Cindy, I graduated all of your sons. There are so many amazing parents that are leaving me this year. I'm totally sad that I missed an entire year with you in the building. I am so grateful that you're here tonight. I am a sap, I know, but the love is real. And I know that many of you who have met me in person know that I truly care about your child. So I have to say that in 18 years of being an educator, I have never worked with a president or co-presidents that loved a school like I did. So this exec board was extraordinary. This ride with this particular group of parents was life-changing. As a mom, as a parent myself, I have learned so much. And I think that Brooklyn Tech, this was probably the best PA we have ever had. Thank you so much for just making me even better at what I do by being honest, by being real, by always looking at it from the devil's advocate perspective, always making sure students came first. And it was easy with you. You know, dealing with a pandemic, you guys by my side, that made it easier. And I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for being just absolute friends in the truest sense of the word. I was thinking about how many of my parents are leaving that I actually know you personally. It's insane, but it's such a gift. Many educators don't get this gift. I don't take it for granted. I will love you all forever. I mean, every single one that served on this PA. Cindy and Lisa, Thelma and Louise, you guys are the absolute best. And I'm letting you all know right now that whatever tears I shed at graduation, you shall not judge me. We
never judge.
We did an NHS installation on Monday, and I like started crying in the middle of the thing, and like the kids were crying, and I'm like, why am I crying? It's NHS, but it mattered. And then when they were all here today, 72 of them giving out caps and gowns to our seniors. Like, today was my favorite day of this year. I got to be around kids, which is why I do what I do, but this is all for you. And 2020 didn't get any of this. So all of you 2021 families, eat it up. This is a miracle that we got up to 4 tickets, that we have a place to do graduation. And this is honest to goodness because Cindy and Lisa made it happen. And I know that they have graduating kids. That's not why they did it. That's not why they did it. They were here last year when the kids got nothing. So Henry's shaking his head because he knows that's a pain you can't replace. That class of 2020 can't get it back. They did whatever it took to make sure this graduation happened in the face of a pandemic. And not only did it happen, but we were blessed with even more. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much. This has been a pleasure. And I wish all of your children the absolute best.
Thank you so much. It's a big love fest. And just a final word for the incoming board, Lincoln is going to be the PA president next year, and he's going to do a tremendous job, and the E-board will be right behind him every step of the way. He will be following in our footsteps, and he's already got relations going with Mr. Newman, Ms. Nottingham, and schedules for PA meetings for next year. So it's going to be wonderful as well. And really thank everybody. Thank you all so much. We'll see some of you at graduation. This Sunday will be our last tech talk of the year that Cindy and I will put together. And then over the course of the summer, you'll hear from the next board and Lincoln
As
with.
necessary.
Yeah.
We're trying to give a break like we
Yeah.
used to take. During the pandemic, we didn't take any breaks, and I think we need to refuel and allow the remaining members on the board to refuel. Yeah,
Yep.
recharge. And the new members to get their little heads going on what they can bring to our new board.
And I guess that's it. Like I said, we'll send out a tech talk. We'll again put our email address, and questions will be answered by Lincoln and the exec board after this. But truly, thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you for the opportunity to serve.
Yes.
And yours in service.
Brooklyn
That's
Tech.
it. Yours in service to Brooklyn Tech. That's it.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
everybody.